Whether you've gotten a late start or you're starting over, you may want to or need to save for retirement in a limited number of years. So is that possible? The short answer is yes, and by the end of this video, you'll have some ideas and some tools that help you figure out exactly how. I'm Justin Pritchard. I'm a fee-only certified financial planner in Colorado, and I work with people all over the U.S., and we're going to go over what it takes to save for retirement within 15 or 20 years. To build up the assets you need during that time, it's helpful to have some good fortune, right? It's not as easy as if you started at age 18 and were setting aside money each year. So the higher your earnings are right now, the easier that's going to make it for you to do this in a short period of time. Other things that can help are good health. So the less you need for healthcare spending in retirement, the less you need to build up for your retirement savings. These are just areas where, again, some good luck can help make this easier. We want to start by figuring out where you stand. That might be looking at a base of income that you have. So these are guaranteed sources of income like your Social Security or your pension from an employer. And those are typically monthly payments that can form, again, the base of what you need each month. Then if you need more than that, you might be taking withdrawals from your retirement savings. So the question becomes, how much do you need to withdraw each month? And then we're going to figure out how much you need to accumulate to support those withdrawals. By the way, as unpleasant as it might sound, working part-time in retirement, which doesn't sound like retirement, that can be extremely powerful because that reduces the amount you need to withdraw. And you don't need to do this for your entire retirement, but doing it for a couple of years, maybe as you taper off, can certainly help your retirement chances. So we start by figuring out how much you need to take each month, and there are a lot of calculators that can help you figure this out, including some on my website. But as you figure out how much you want to withdraw, again, this is in addition to or on top of the income you're getting from Social Security. So this is just money that you're going to take out of your accounts, that extra amount you need each month. Then we can figure out what's a lump sum that you might need at retirement. This is an estimate based on the multiply by 25 rule. And so it doesn't give you a perfect picture like a detailed financial plan would, but this gives you a nice ballpark idea of how much you might want to have saved at retirement. The answer might be a really big number, so here is some information that might make that less daunting to you. The first is that your employer might help you save this money, so you don't necessarily need to set aside every penny of that. So if you're getting matching contributions or profit sharing contributions at your workplace, that helps contribute to the amount you need. Next is that you can increase the amount that you save in future years. So if the monthly amount you need to save is higher than you can afford right now, just do the best that you can with what you can do now. And then in future years, you may be getting raises, you may be advancing in your career, and you may be able to contribute more. So just do what you can for now. If you happen to be limited by tax rules that say you can only contribute a certain amount per year, well, those rules typically allow you to increase the contributions in future years. So they might adjust for inflation, or after you reach age 50, you might be able to do an increased catch-up contribution. And you can also save in taxable accounts. So these are not retirement accounts that have annual limits on how much you can set aside, but they're just, let's call them normal accounts with no real tax benefits, but they still allow you to set aside money for your future. And finally, the longer you wait to take benefits like Social Security or your pension, and the longer you keep working, you typically get an increase in those benefits. So that can possibly reduce the amount that you need to save. So if you wait a certain number of years, maybe your monthly income from those programs would be higher, which can make it easier for you. So once we know how much you need to save in a lump sum, this is our savings goal that we're going to have at your retirement date. And remember, this might or might not be adjusted for inflation, so there may be a couple of extra steps here. But if your retirement is relatively soon, These numbers might be, somewhat close, again, ballpark numbers. We can figure out what it takes to reach that number. In other words, how much does it take for you to contribute each year or each month to reach this goal? A lot of people with a limited number of years to retirement sometimes want to know about just investing really aggressively so that they can build up those account balances in a short amount of time. Well, that is certainly possible, but by taking risk that will hopefully result in big gains, you're also taking the risk of potentially large losses. And if you have a limited amount of time before you're going to retire, oftentimes the most important thing is how much you're setting aside each year. You can't necessarily invest your way to a huge portfolio, or if you do, it means you're taking a substantial amount of risk, and that could go in your favor or it could go the other direction. So you want to be very cautious about that. Something that might be very helpful in some cases is a widow or a spouse's or an ex-spouse's benefit. So as you look at what retirement benefits are available to you through Social Security or a pension, it's possible that you can receive income based on, somebody that you were married to long ago even. There are certain rules and requirements that need to be met, but don't ignore those as you do your retirement planning, because you may qualify for benefits. I hope this is helpful. Again, I'm Justin Pritchard, a fee-only financial advisor, and if you'd like to discuss working together to plan your retirement, I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out and we can talk more. Please subscribe to this channel. It does not cost you anything to do that, and it lets you know when new videos like this come out. Plus, it helps me out a tiny bit, so thank you. And thanks to everybody who's already subscribed.